And the men of Ephraim said to him, Why hast thou served us thus, that thou calledst us not when thou wentest to fight with Midian? And they did chide with him sharply. And he said to them, What have I done in comparison with you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abiezer? God hath delivered into your hand the princes of Midian, Oreb and Zeb, and what was I able to do in comparison with you? Then their anger was abated toward him, when he had said that. And Gideon came to the Jordan and passed over, he and the 300 men that were with him, faint yet pursuing. And he said to the men of Succoth, Give, I pray you, loaves of bread to the people that follow me, for they are faint, and I am pursuing after Zebah and Thalmunna, the kings of Midian. And the princes of Succoth said, Are the hands of Zebah and Thalmunna now in thy hand, that we should give bread to thy army? And Gideon said, Therefore, when Yahweh hath delivered Zebah and Thalmunna into my hand, then I will tear your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness and with briars. And he went up thence to Penuel, and spoke to them in like manner. And the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Succoth had answered. And he spoke also to the men of Penuel, saying, When I come again in peace, I will break down this tower. Now Zebah and Thalmunna were in Karkor, and their hosts with them, about 15,000 men, all that were left of all the hosts of the children of the east. For there fell 120,000 men that drew sword. And Gideon went up by the way of them that dwell in tents, on the east of Nobah and Yogbah, and smote the host, for the host was secure. And Zebah and Thalmunna fled, and he pursued after them. And he took the 2 kings of Midian, Zebah and Thalmunna, and terrified all the host. And Gideon the son of Joash returned from the battle, from the ascent of Heres. And he caught a young man of the men of Succoth, and inquired of him, and he described for him the princes of Succoth, and the elders thereof, 77 men. And he came to the men of Succoth, and said, Behold, Zebah and Thalmunna, concerning whom ye did taunt me, saying, Are the hands of Zebah and Thalmunna now in thy hand, that we should give bread to thy men that are weary? And he took the elders of the city, and thorns of the wilderness, and briars, and with them he taught the men of Succoth. And he broke down the tower of Penuel, and slew the men of the city. Then said he to Zebah and Thalmunna, What manner of men were they whom ye slew at Tabor? And they answered, As thou art, so were they. Each one resembled the sons of a king. And he said, They were my brothers, the sons of my mother. As Yahweh liveth, if ye had saved them alive, I would not slay you. But he said to Jether his firstborn, Up, and slay them. But the youth drew not his sword, for he feared, because he was yet a youth. Then Zebah and Thalmunna said, Rise thou, and fall upon us, for as the man is, so is his strength. And Gideon arose and slew Zebah and Thalmunna, and took the crescents that were on the camels' necks. Then the men of Israel said to Gideon, Rule thou over us, both thou and thy son son's son also, for thou hast saved us out of the hand of Midian. And Gideon said to them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. Yahweh shall rule over you. And Gideon said to them, I would make a request of you, that ye would give me every man the earrings of his spoil. For they had golden earrings, because they were Yishmaelim. And they answered, We will willingly give them. And they spread a garment, and did cast therein every man the earrings of his spoil. And the weight of the golden earrings that he requested was 1,700 thaqalim of gold, besides the crescents, and the pendants, and the purple raiment that was on the kings of Midian, and besides the chains that were about their camels' necks. And Gideon made an ephod thereof, and put it in his city, even in Ophrah, and all Yisrael played the harlot after it there, and it became a snare to Gideon and to his house. So Midian was subdued before the children of Yisrael, and they lifted up their heads no more. And the land had rest 40 years in the days of Gideon. And Yerubbaal the son of Joash went and dwelt in his own house. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many women. And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, and he called his name Abimelech. And Gideon the son of Joash died in a good old age, and was buried in the sepulchre of Joash his father, in Ophrah of the Abiezrim. And it was, as soon as Gideon was dead, that the children of Yisrael turned again, and played the harlot after the Baalim, and made Baal-berith their god. And the children of Yisrael remembered not Yahweh their God, who had delivered them out of the hand of all their enemies on every side. Neither showed they kindness to the house of Yerubbaal, who is Gideon, according to all the goodness which he had showed to Yisrael.